Okay, this video is going to show you how to do an invoice. You've already started your day, so let's go into route and let's just pick one of these at random. Let's do Pop's General Store. So you click on it, and by the way, this list is the route in order that's scheduled to be serviced. So let's go to Pop's General Store, hit select. Here you'll see the read only is in blue. Down here, sales tax rate. That's the sales tax rate for the state of Georgia. If this particular store had a different tax rate, you could enter it here and the system will remember it next time you service them. Let's go ahead and assume that they do have a tax rate of 7 for taxable items and go straight into sales. Sales is a pretty big task. It takes it a moment to load, so that's what that scrolling icon is in the middle. Alright, here's a list of all the items that were on hand as we left the store last time we serviced them. We were able to get the data out of the old handheld system and bring it over to the new. So, and you can scroll down and see there's boxes at the bottom. This is sorted by, they're grouped together by like items, not by item number. But let's go ahead and select pizza. It's on the first one, so hit select. Okay, now this screen right here, notice the 167 at the top. That's the ending inventory when we left last time. If you look down this bottom grid, you'll see the last time we serviced this account was on 3/24, and there's the ending of 167. We counted 23 when we walked in the store, which gave us a usage for the previous week of 139. We delivered 144, which left us with 167, and you can see the history. Behind this grid, if you hit dollars, you can actually see the sales price, tax rate, and also the ability to do a sample or no charge. So let's go back to history. Let's just go ahead and enter account. Let's say we walked in and they had a case and 6 pieces. Notice that beginning, or your count, is cumulative, so the field's clear and it adds the quantity over here. So let's say we find one more in another part of the store. It just increased the value to 25. Goes ahead and calculates the usage for you based on the ending previous and the beginning this time. So let's go ahead and leave them a full case of 8. Now you can hit next and it'll go to the next item in the list. And let's go ahead and say we found 3 of those, and let's go ahead and leave them a case. Looks like we haven't left them a case in a few weeks, so let's hit next. Now we're at Just Right Spice. Let's say we're not really in that part of the store, but we're still in the freezer. Yep, they buy double cheese. If you want to move this grid, you can get up here and click on that little line and drag it and give yourself the ability to see more on the screen. So let's go do a double cheese. Let's hit select, and also notice you have a running total of $226.50. Let's go ahead and say we found one of those. So let's go ahead and leave 1 case, 1 piece. Next, and I won't go through the whole order, but you're getting the gist. Go back to list. You can see a running total. There's our total at the bottom. Let's say we want to add something, or better yet, let's just do we have a damaged pizza. Let's go ahead and show you how to do that. So what you would do is add a pizza right here. Let's go ahead and show you this feature while we're at. You have a keyboard up here. This is where you can find an item based on the description. What we're going to do, instead of this keyboard, which to me is kind of small, I'm going to kill it. Go down the bottom right hand corner, there's a bigger keyboard, and let's just say we're looking for a cutter. Just type in CUT, get rid of the keyboard, hit find. There's every item in our item list that has CUT in it. So let's say we want to sell them a pizza cutter. So let's hit select. And by the way, I was going to do a return here. I'm going to have to come back and do that. Let's go ahead and sell them one cutter. And let's check. It is taxable. And by the way, you can change the tax by line item. 7 on this customer is the predominant tax rate. But for instance, if you were selling an oven or something that comes in a little bit different, you could do the calculations and then come back in here and put the tax rate. Notice the tax rate also is a decimal, not a whole number. So 7% is 0.07. So let's go back to our list. And now I'm going to double back and let's do a return on a pizza. We can just select the pizza that's already at the top of our list, or we could scroll down if we need to find it somewhere else. We're going to go back to pizza, hit select. Notice it populated it for you up here. Let's go ahead and put 1, and we want to do a -1. So what you do is take your cursor or your stylus and click into the gray area changes that 1 to a negative, hit return. We now have it. If you want to see the dollars, we're going to give them a credit of $3.25. So if you go back to your list and scroll to the right, you can see the detail associated with all the lines of the invoice. We're going to finish this invoice short without having to do all the items, just for sake of time. So I'm going to hit print. You won't be able to see this in this video, but I've got a Bluetooth printer. You should hear it beep in a moment to where it's going to be talking to it. What it has to do is scroll through all those lines and do all the calculations and format it for print. And the first printout is the original invoice. It can be used to pull your inventory with, and also to present the store with it when you actually check in your inventory. If you did it with more than one copy, you could hit no right here and it would print another copy, but we're okay. It did print okay, so I'm going to say yes for print okay. It's going to take you to the next step in the process, actually getting payment. So let's go ahead and say they paid us to $638.05, so 638.05, enter, brings us a balance of 0. I'll go ahead and tell you it's going to challenge you for a check, so let's go ahead and try it. Next, nope, it wants a check number, so let's go ahead and put a check number in here. Now, one important thing, major difference between our new system and our old, post voids. There are no post voids. This is the only screen that you can do a void in. After you pass the screen, this invoice is real, and the only way to get rid of it is to do a offsetting invoice with negative quantities. So now is your time to void. Notice there's a note down here. It went ahead and included our check number. You could actually do the keyboard and type in some more notes. That note will actually print on the invoice. So we're good to go. So let's go ahead and hit next. It's saving that data to the local database. It's going to bring up a signature screen. We're going to be doing digital signatures with the new handheld, where you can actually use the stylus and write on the screen. And what you write on the screen will actually print on the invoice and be fed to the servers. Alright, it knows who's running the route, so to do your signature, on company signature, just go to the far right of that line and hit the hand with a pencil in it and sign it out. Now, customer name, you can actually type in here. We haven't serviced this customer before, so it's blank. So let's just say Joe is the person who's going to sign for it today. And now what you would do is click on the pen next to customer signature and hand the device to Joe and let Joe sign for it. And now copies, customer copies. If this was a cash account, and this is company specific, your accountants can tell you what they want to do. You may not want to print off another copy of the invoice. You may want to let them keep the original invoice that you pulled your inventory with. In that case, you could put 0, or you could pick 1, 2, or 3. We'll go ahead and pick 1, the default here. Well, let's go ahead and do 0 just for time in the video. Now, people ask about company copies. It will always print out one company copy. So there's no choice there. And if you want more than one company copy, you can just tell it didn't print okay, and it'll print you as many copies as you want. So we'll hit print. And on this print, it will pause. It'll pause on a long invoice because it's just trying to queue up all the information that came from the handheld computer. But your digital signatures are pretty big, so they're pretty big files. So it takes a minute to get through the air. So just wait for the invoice to complete, and that did print okay, so let's say yes. So that concludes how to run an invoice. So we covered a couple of things: how to add an item to it, how to actually do a return, and you also saw how to do a no charge. We didn't actually do it, but all you do is click on that no charge, and it will actually take the price to 0. And now we're going to be back to the customer page, so you could actually run another invoice or take notes, or just go back to the route, and the route takes you back to the sequence of stops, and you can just pick the next one.